In Rise of Kingdoms, rallying is a very key aspect of any KVK if you want to win. You could have a million players on the field, but if you don't have a rally, you are going to lose. So today, I will be talking all about rallies and the best ways to make your rallies more effective. I will go over the art of rallying, how to keep a rally stocked up, keep it healthy, and make sure it doesn't die as quick, and I will talk about the best rally combinations as of right now. Let's start off with what is a rally. If you don't know what a rally is, you must be very new, so we're going to go over it very briefly. A rally is the way you can group up troops under one person's commanders and technology, and with that, you can march them to destroy a target. A rally cannot be controlled where it goes after it's been launched, so once you rally a flag, you cannot just drag the rally and walk around with it. You also are unable with a rally to attack things like barbarians, and also you can't attack troops. There are a few other things you can't attack, but really rallies are the main way to take out big objectives like flags, fortresses, barbarian fortresses, things like ruins and altars like these right here, these heroines, passes, all of those you need a rally. Let's start off with the easiest way to make your rallies more effective, and that is to have runes. And a rune is extremely easy to get. You kill guardians at a crusader camp, a crusader fortress, whatever, anywhere that guardians spawn, and there is a chance they drop a rune. Another way to make your rally more effective is choosing the right civilization. Civilizations can make a fair amount of a difference for rallies, and here are the best civilizations for each troop type. Archers, you choose Egypt, which is on screen now. They have a rallied all damage bonus by 5%, which is pretty good. For infantry, there is actually no one set rally civilization, but for the most part, you're going to choose Vikings since they have the counterattack. And then for Cavs, you will choose Arabia because they deal extra rally damage as well. The next way to improve your rally is make sure you have good technology, whether that be normal technology, so just your normal tech right here, or your crystal technology, which is extremely important as well. For many Season of Conquest rallies, especially in bigger KVKs, you're going to want to have almost max crystal technology before you start rallying, or max for whatever time you're at. Like before Pass 5, I understand you're not going to have literal max crystal technology, but basically having as high of a level as you can of crystal technology is essential if you're rallying. If you are rallying, some crystal tech of note is try and get things that improve your troops' attack. Also, don't really need to worry about the march speed stuff unless it's important. Attack formation is always really good. Then you want marching orders 1 and 2 to be as high as you can get them because that increases your rally capacity. And having more troops in a rally does make all the difference. Because if you can hold 2.3 million and they can only hold 2 million in a garrison, you are definitely going to win. Also, other things to note, improved morale is extremely important for rally leads and even field players. And also just trying to max whichever troop type you are using. The next thing is make sure you're only rallying when it's really good. So you can see right here, SW is being destroyed by the enemies. They have complete field presence, and SW can't really do much. So if I were Smash Wolves or SW, I would not be rallying right now. I would wait until obviously my objective has been defended, and then I would start rallying. Or once the field presence here starts to die down every bit, I would start rallying. Yes, there are situations where rallying actually alleviates the pressure, and that's all for rally leaders and kingdom leaders to decide when it's the best time to rally. But for the most part, you should not be rallying straight into this absolute massacre of a murder ball. You should try and clear the field first. And for smaller KVKs, that is always the objective, clear the field, then rally. And that's what most players should be doing. Also, making sure that you have your own troops to support you while you're rallying is important. No rally is ever going to survive if they rally into the middle of nowhere and hope that it destroys the flag. It's either going to get swarmed, killed, or it's just going to run out of troops and die from the flag itself. Also, receiving reinforcements from your players is important. Make sure your rally does not run itself into the literal ground. Often running a rally in the ground, especially if it's a one-on-one flag battle, is going to be very, very costly if it's a short rally, because rallies are expensive. They take all dead troops, and if you're killing everyone's troops, no one's going to want to fill the rally. So try and cancel if it's getting way too low and you know it's not going to fill back up. For example, if a rally has been sitting at 1 million troops or lower for like a minute to 2 minutes straight, then it may be time for you to cancel, regroup your allies, and rally again. You always have a chance to rally again. There's no need to overrush and be overzealous with your rallies. Next, if you're rallying, especially a main objective, try and request some form of a kingdom title. Whether that be getting the king title itself so you get up to 15% stats, or even just general or duke, or even justice. All of these titles make your rallies more effective and more powerful. For what it's worth, most players don't really need the title to get a good rally. Like, these stats are not completely game changing. But if you are doing a major rally on, let's say, a pass that you know is going to last an absolute while, you might as well give them that title while they launch the rally. And once the rally is out on the field, you can take the title off and the rally still benefits from all the buffs. Also, trying to put king skills on rallies for most kings is a very, very, very good idea because king skill buffs are very, very powerful. Also, another thing, alliance titles can be useful for a rally leader, but I mean, these don't make too major of a difference. 1% of each stat is not going to be the be-all, end-all with a rally. If your rally is losing, I can assure you it is not because of your alliance titles. The next thing is buying the newspaper, because there is a chance that if you buy the newspaper, you get a buff towards whichever troop you are rallying with, and that is always nice. It is 1,000 gold, and I can assure you even a 5% buff to any troop is going to save you more than 1,000 gold in resources if the rally dies. So let's start off with rally combinations, and we'll start off with infantry. And infantry are often the commanders that you use when there is heavy field presence on both sides. If there are a lot of enemies and a lot of your allies, you're going to use an infantry rally because it sustains itself the longest and is often the most tanky rally with more anti-swarm features than cavalry and archer rallies. Infantry rallies are mainly used to take out flags and passes. I wouldn't really use them on cities, they can work, but there are better options there. Now, the best infantry rally currently, in my opinion, is Tarek with Pakal, and this rally just completely destroys. It's very, very anti-swarm since they both have high counterattack. Pakal especially is counterattack Jesus. And I think that Tarek is a very, very powerful rally commander. High damage factor, obviously has Conquering Tree and a rally specific skill. So using Tarek is a very good idea if you are trying to rally with infantry. Another option is Tarek and Sargon. Sargon's one-on-one damage is absolutely insane, and he does put a major debuff on the garrison. This rally is best if you know you are going to be swarming the garrison down. Now for archer rallies, which is my specialty, archers are mainly used when you have complete field presence. If you have the field and you are rallying with archers, you're going to get an amazing trade. If you do not have the field and you're rallying with archers, you're going to lose that trade and that rally is going to die really quick. So making sure you have the field when you rally archers is a really good idea, since often they don't have as much anti-swarm as something such as an infantry rally, and that's where the field becomes really useful, because if you are protecting your rally and no one can really kill it, you're going to trade absolutely mental. Now, the current best rally combinations are very, very variety-based for archers, because there are a lot of rallies that work. Henry is the only archer commander that is used in every single rally I'm about to mention. So the first rally is Henry with Gilgamesh, and Gilgamesh is amazing for Zenobia garrisons only, because Gilgamesh's debuff basically makes it so that if Zenobia heals, which she does like all the time, she's going to take extra direct damage factor. So that's a really good for a Zenobia garrison. He is also somewhat tanky, where he does gain extra attack as long as the battle keeps going on, and he's got a lot of health, which is really nice. Henry obviously is just super high damage factor. He's got a lot of stats, he's got a lot of counterattack, and a lot of revenge damage. The next rally is Henry with Nebu, and this is a very anti-swarm archer rally for the most part. Like, it's gonna get swarmed down. If a whale decides goodbye rally with 7 marchers and you don't have field control, this rally will die. But for the most part, this is a more tanky rally. So if some people are hitting it every now and again, and some people are running their marchers into your rally, this rally will be able to survive for the most part. So a Nebuchadnezzar with a Henry has a lot of march speed, so it's going to reach the objective quick. Keep that in mind if you are doing a double rally. Also, Nebu has got an AoE, which is good if you are getting swarmed. He's going to deal damage to enemy troops. He is going to deal damage to enemy troops that are also trying to reinforce flags or protect flags. Nebu also has a lot of all damage and a ton of counterattack on his third skill, which is really good. He also does have a direct damage, revenge damage, and the same with Henry. Nothing really changes with Henry in this rally. Once again, Nebu and Henry is best if you are getting swarmed. Then Boudica with Henry is actually another really good rally, because Boudica with Henry allows you to deal an absolute boatload of damage in a very short period of time. But this rally is a very, very swarmable rally. If someone decides they're going to kill the Boudica Henry, it is going to die. So you must have basically complete field control for this rally, and in Imperium Kingdoms that is not going to really work. Then the best archer rally currently is Henry with ZHUGE. ZHUGE has major damage factor, like a lot of damage factor. It's a 5 targets in a circle area is great. He's got a lot of health, which Henry doesn't have, and a lot of all damage. ZHUGE also does even more damage factor on his 4th skill, has skill damage bonuses and attack increases, and he has a slight rage engine. So he really works well with Henry. And for a rally, it's quite anti-swarm with the amount of damage factor that he is dealing. But once again, in an Imperium KVK, his 5-circle AoE, yes, it's going to take out a few marchers, but it's not really going to change the overall outcome of the rally, because 500 marchers versus a 5-march AoE is always going to win. Now, for cavalry rallies, these are best against flags and cities. I really, really like cav rallies against cities, because you can get a cav rally in and out of a city in like 1 minute. You launch it, you hit the city, city's dead. So the best cav rally at the moment, in my opinion, is Nevsky with the Joan Prime. Nevsky is really, really tanky, and Joan Prime offers a lot of skill damage. This is more of a flag rally rather than a city rally, and it's probably the one that's going to give you the most value. If you want to deal a lot of damage but be glass cannon on a flag, you use the Zhang Yu with the Nevsky, and this could also work It is a little bit of an older combo, but still it's going to trade amazingly. Also, Minamoto oddly works shockingly well for flags, even in Season of Conquest and sometimes in Imperium KVKs. I've seen it happen. So Minamoto with Nevsky is another option, though this one is a lot more squishy and make sure you have field presence when you are using it. Also, Bertrand with Nevsky is another option. A lot of people don't have Bertrand, and I don't think he is essential for cav rallying, but if you do have him, he actually does work for cav rallies, though there are better options out there. However, he will destroy flags if you keep him topped up and reinforced, and you keep him safe. Now, for city rallies, which is what Cavs really shine in, Attila and Takeda really works. The thing with Attila Takeda is you have to have literal control of the field. The person must not be online either, because otherwise the rally is not going to do that good. The way Attila Takeda works is it does no skill damage, but it does a lot of normal attack damage. So what happens is Attila and Takeda don't actually kill the city that fast. Over that very long period of time, they're making the garrison, let's say, heal up troops and then lose troops, or making the garrison kind of just sit there without losing massive chunks from skill damage, and they're just slowly killing off all of the enemy's troops. This rally is very good if you're first attacking a major high power city. You send in an Attila Takeda, possibly 2 or 3 Attila Takedas even, and you can sustain that for a while, killing down the city very slowly and killing off a lot of troops. I've seen Attila Takeda reports where the Attila goes like 20 million to 80 million power. It's absolutely insane. If you want to kill a city really fast though, you use an Attila Nevsky possibly. This is also a very anti-swarm rally, so it can be used on flags, but I don't recommend it too much. You could also rally with a Joan and a Nevsky into a city. It's just going to absolutely annihilate the city super quick. It's best for cities around like 80 to 60 million power, because you hit their city and they just die instantly, and it kills off a lot of troops. Once again though, Attila Takeda, if you're trying to kill as many troops as you possibly can, is the best way to do it. Also, shockingly, Attila and Ragnar can work very well for cities. It's basically a Takeda substitute if you double relic him, though he's not that insane. Like, if you're rallying with a Ragnar, you're just going to expect the same trade as you would with an Attila, and most players don't have a Ragnar max, so it's not a feasible option. Now, for every single commander that I mentioned for rallying, they all must be expertised, purely because you are putting your whole entire kingdom's troops on the line here. If your rally fails, your kingdom can lose a lot of troops. If your rally succeeds, you can make the opponents lose even more troops. So making sure your commanders are expertise before you consider rallying is extremely important. You don't want to be known as the guy that keeps killing off everyone's troops, because no one likes the rally lead that's sending in unmaxed commanders and kills off a bunch of people's troops. Now, if you are running rallies, it's always important to have the correct equipment. You definitely will run a Ring of Doom if you're rallying, and possibly could consider a Concealed Dagger to reduce the health of whatever you are rallying, but for the most part, you will just run a Horn of Fury, unless you are running a very rage-heavy rally. For example, Zhang Yu is going to gain a ton more rage than the Horn will be able to keep up with, so you're going to go over the rage cap, and Horn of Fury is not useful in a Zhang Yu rally. But for the most part, you will run a Ring of Doom with a Horn of Fury. Also, ensuring you have possibly full legendary gear for your rally, or the best gear set for your rally, is very important. And if you want to know more about that, I've made a video especially related to all archer gear, and I discuss the best sets of archer gear for rallying and for fielding. So if you want to check that out, it will be on the end screen of the video very soon. Now, I do want to say thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.